I want to say well, I'll talk about this when we get into it.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Inspired by the adventures of our nurses, therapists, and techs, A Beer with Atlas is the only healthcare traveling, craft beer drinking podcast. Each week, we'll open a few beers, talk about the brewery and the style of beer, and then dive into some research curated specifically for each episode. In the end, we hope each one sounds like a conversation you'd have with your friends while enjoying a few cold ones.
Welcome to another episode of A Beer with Damn it.
Wow.
Careful.
What was that?
Not the beer, obviously.
It was the string cheese.
the string cheese.
Came back to get
Beer with Atlas. I'm Rich.
I'm Dolan.
I'm Brian.
Whoa. Look, I'd say it was like backwards day or whatever, but we're doing a pretty traditional beer today, a Pilsner.
Yes.
We're going back to the roots of beer.
That's right.
A Pilsner from Fifty-Fifty Brewing Company called Tahoe Pilz.
Tahoe is 50-50 near Lake Tahoe?
Wow.
Is that where we're going?
It's in Truckee, California.
Oh, California.
So is that close to... I don't know.
I don't know where Lake Tahoe is.
California's big. That's all I know.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. And I love Pilsners. That's all I know.
Mm.
I've gone back to basics,
It sure looks like
fellas.
Pilsner.
And
Looks good.
it does. Look at. Okay, so here's what I was going to say. Look at the font look at the cursive font on the front of that, on the front there. Doesn't that look like the cursive font on the Budweiser labels?
A little bit. I
Look
can
at
see
it.
that kind of, yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
It looks like the cursive font. Like this is Beechwood Age, blah, blah, blah.
They might have done that on accident.
Maybe.
Or not.
Or not.
Or not.
Or just a popular...
Yeah, maybe it's just they're like, give us a cool cursive font. And this is what popped up.
Lake Tahoe's premier Czech-style lager, crisp, refreshing, and clean. That's what it says right there on the label. Well, we'll be the judge of that.
That's right, we will.
Well, it looks crisp and clean. It's almost
It smells delicious.
see-through.
Sure did.
Yeah.
It's pretty close to see-through. I can see color through there.
Right.
Man. Hoo, yeah.
It looks good in your Pizza Hut glass. I will
does.
say that.
That's the
good.
color that should be in the Pizza Hut glass, right? I mean,
I
that's
think so.
traditional
Pilsner,
for that
It's
glass.
Pilsner glass, yeah.
Right there.
Ooh, that's really good.
Isn't it? Nice little sweetness. I like it. Oh, man, I like it a lot. So, 50-50 Brewing is located at 11197 Brockway Road, Suite number 1 in Truckee, California. Open 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., 7 days a week.
Yep, that sounds about right.
I love it. We've had 2 of those recently, right?
Yeah, we have.
7 days a week.
Let's see. I pulled a few of their highlights off their website. Kind of like
Okay.
their, not slogans, but just things they were proud of, I guess. Esquire magazine said, hey, these guys are one of the top 10 beers you'll never taste.
Top 10 beers you'll never taste.
Unless you get to Truckee, California, I guess.
Oh.
Well, guess what? We're tasting it.
Yep.
Beer Advocate says they make some of the top beers in the world. And
Okay.
the Great American Beer Festival, these guys were the Brewery Group of the Year in 2018.
2018, I wrote that down.
So, they're not messing around.
No, that's legit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Founded in 2007 by Andrew and Alicia Barr, former HP employees that said, you know what, we don't want to be in tech anymore. We want to brew beer. I don't blame them.
Most tech people I know are into beer. Anyway.
Right, yeah.
Seems to be the case.
Yeah. This beer right here, the Tahoe Pilz, won silver at the Best of Craft Beer Awards just 2 months ago in 2022. I'd never
that's
heard
fresh.
of the Best of Craft Beer Awards, but I went through the list. Scratchtown here in Nebraska actually won an award there
Interesting.
just this year.
How'd we get this beer?
I want to say one of our travelers brought it to us because they just opened a tap room in Reno, Nevada.
Oh.
So I want to say it came from there. I honestly do not remember though. I do not. There
Well,
was
if
a
you gave us this
pile of
beer,
them.
thank you.
Yes.
It's good.
Yeah.
More Pilsners, please.
Yes.
I wrote down their beer series. because these guys are known for one specific beer,
Yes.
the Eclipse, which is their barrel-aged Imperial Stout.
Did you see it? I really want to
yeah.
try that. Oh my goodness.
So it's interesting, the business plan for this one, because these things sell out quickly always. Like whenever a brewery is known for this, like Toppling Goliath, let's say, they have like a lottery system. So you can buy a bottle if you get your name pulled, which is crazy to think that that's something that you would have to do.
That's a real thing.
Yeah. This place is just like, okay, tell us how many bottles you want, and then give us half of that money. And if you don't pick up your bottles, we're keeping that money.
Oh.
Just so you know.
Oh.
So I guess that's a kind of way to get away from scalpers, I guess, a little bit, because you got to front the money, at least half of it.
It's
You know what I mean?
Beer layaway?
Kind of, yeah. And then the brewery then knows, like, oh, okay, we have to make 1,000 bottles or whatever it is, right?
Gotta get a 5-barrel going or whatever it is.
Hand waxed, the whole 9 yards as you'd expect.
Of course.
I'm assuming this is expensive.
God, this beer is good.
Here's the barrels that they use that I pulled off the list. They have one from George Dickel.
Never heard of it.
I like their rye.
Okay.
Dickel rye is pretty good.
It's just
High
fun
West.
It's fun to say.
It is fun.
Yeah.
High West, have you seen them? They have the tall, skinny whiskey bottles.
Yeah.
They're out of Park City, Utah. They use their stuff. This one was called Old Trestle Sierra Bourbon, which is in Truckee. And it's their only distillery, and it was the first one in 100 years.
Oh.
So we're talking real small batch stuff, I would assume.
Okay.
And then the last one, the barrels that they use for this beer is called Widow Jane. And that's a small batch whiskey out of Brooklyn, New York.
Oh.
And they're like, we don't even know how we got these barrels, but we did.
We just got them.
Yeah.
And they're awesome.
So it sounds pretty exclusive and expensive, and I want to have some.
I'll tell you, every single, and this is across the board. It's like, I think you brought one, and Kyle or Aaron Daly has brought us a beer. And then I had one in Colorado that were all aged, different beers, different breweries. They're aged in Buffalo Trace barrels. Every one of them was off the charts good.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to attribute it to the barrel. I want to say it's Buffalo Trace.
Yeah. The two flavors that I saw of this beer, Caramel Macchiato Eclipse, which is caramel or caramel if you're fancy, vanilla, lactose, a little bit of salt, and fresh coffee. And then the other one was Chocolate Malt Ball Eclipse, which is chocolate, milk chocolate, lactose, vanilla, and dry malt, which is what gives it that, Whoppers sort of
So I was
flavor.
going to say Whoppers, right?
And they're like, I didn't write it down, but I'm thinking they're like in the 14% ABV range. Would be my guess.
We need this beer. We need that one.
And then some of the other ones I wrote down, they have one called West Coast Haze,
Okay.
which has old school hops, has Calypso, Azaka, Mosaic, Amarillo, and Eldorado. Those are like what people made IPAs out of.
Right.
So it's got the haziness of, well, it's hazy-ish, we'll say, but it's got more IBUs. So it's got some punch to it, which I think I would probably be into.
Yep.
They have a Kappa, which is the California Pale Ale. They have one called Totality, which is their Imperial Stout. So it's, the Eclipse is totally full, I guess, maybe. The sun is blocked over Totality. They have, what did I write? Oh, a 50-50 blend for this beer called Nitro Bart. And the 50-50 blend is half barley wine, half stout.
Oh.
Barrel aged. And BART stands for Barrel Aged Really Tasty. Kind of like they had, remember when we saw those Boris beers from Hop and Frog or whatever that was called?
Yes.
It's kind of spelled out like that, B.A.R.T. And then they have Donner Party Porter and TRK, which I'm going to say is Trek Blonde Ale. They had some cool merch, but everything was sold out.
Interesting.
Every single item I looked at was not available for my purchasing.
I went back through and I thought, well, give me some, because Pilsner may not be a familiar style to, like, what is a Pilsner exactly? I heard a story, Scott Strange told me the story one time, that there was a brewery on the West Coast that needed a new head brewer. and they said, okay, I don't want we're gonna test some brewers out. We're gonna test some home brewers out. Whoever makes the best Pilsner gets the job, because you can't hide any impurities in a Pilsner, because it's so hard to do. To get a good, clean Pilsner, it's so hard. And that's just kind of stuck with me. Like, it is a beer of beers kind of thing. Like, if you want a beer tasting beer, that's a Pilsner.
Yeah, that's true.
So I looked it up. I want 9 different Pilsners on here that maybe we've had,
Okay.
or maybe that we haven't. So liquor.com has the best 9 Pilsners currently on the market here.
Okay.
Some we can get, some we can't.
Is this all craft or not?
There's some craft in here, but then
Okay.
there's some not. So number 1, best overall, Pilsner Urquell
Yep.
in the green bottle. And I believe we've had that maybe.
I don't know if we've had it. We might have, but
It's out of the
we can
Czech.
get it here, I know.
We can, yeah. It's out of the Czech Republic. Best craft Pilsner, not too far from Truckee here. Well, I mean, as California goes, is the STS Pilsner. It's a Bohemian Pilsner from Russian River.
Oh, okay.
I've had that one. It's quite good. Quite honestly, Russian River is a sour and IPA a brewery
That's
or whatever.
makes the Pliny beers.
Yeah.
Blind Pig.
The best American Pilsner is called Heater Allen Pils out of Oregon. Never heard of it.
No, me neither.
No. Best Czech style is Live Oak Pils from Texas. The label looks familiar only maybe because I've been in Texas. This one I've never heard of. Best German Pilsner. Jever Pilsner? Jever? No, out of Germany. Best Italian style, which we've had. I want to say I've had an Italian Pils
Okay.
somewhere. Is Firestone Walker's Pivo Pils.
Oh, Pivo, yeah. We can get that here.
Yep, we totally can. Best Keller Pils, don't know what Keller is from Summit in Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen the cans before.
We used to have it here. I don't know if we still have Summit or not, but back in the day, 10 years ago, that was one of the ones we could get here.
Yeah. Best Hoppy Pils, which I'm not generally a fan of.
That's usually where I go.
You want to?
Yeah.
You don't need to inject some hops in there for me. I mean, I don't need the bitterness on the back end. Victory Prima Pils. Victory is the one with
Out
the
of
big
Philadelphia or
yeah,
whatever.
with the big V, Pennsylvania. Yep. And then best session Pils is Notch Brewing Company, which we've had before.
Yeah.
Notch out of Massachusetts has the best session Pils, and it's just
What's
called
the session pills? Like 3.8%?
4%.
4%,
Just
okay.
barely 4%.
was close.
So it's funny, the notes on this one, the head brewer said, I would argue that all Pilsners in general are sessionable. Which is
He's right.
He's not wrong, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. Pilsners that you may have heard of. Now, is it Miller Lite a Pilsner?
Yeah.
Gross. Okay. Well, there you go.
All those beers are Pilsners, generally.
Miller Lite just tastes like metal to me. I don't know why. It just has a
Like-
metallic.
Like that kind of
Not
metal?
no, not like rock and roll.
Yeah.
Not like that. No,
Oh.
metal like I'm having a stroke.
Am I sucking pennies? No.
Don't you taste metal if you have a stroke?
I've never
I
heard
don't
of
know.
that before.
I'm hoping to not find out.
Don't-
Yeah,
this
same.
is what old people like us have to worry about,
Yeah.
right?
Is that
Oh no,
metal?
I'm tasting metal.
Burnt toast? What?
I can't
No.
feel my left arm.
Yeah.
Dead.
That's how it goes sometimes. Speaking of dead,
What a transition.
the research I did today.
Okay.
One of those beer names popped out at me, and I was like, oh, yeah, we're doing this.
Okay.
The Donner Party.
I
Ever
saw
heard of them?
that. They had a porter named
Yeah,
after it.
the Donner
Yes.
Donner Party Porter.
Yeah.
Dolan, do you know about the Donner Party? You look like you're tearing up over there. You okay?
Oh yeah, I got something in my eye. I'm not sure what.
Oh, it's a tear. Okay. It was your finger, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Donner Party. Guess what? We're going to go down a brief history here. I wrote down a lot.
Okay.
So we'll see how it goes. They're famous. This is a famous story. But most people, I did not know the origins of the story.
I don't.
So there was this trail, the California Trail, basically, right? And they were trying to get from the Midwest to Northern California, Oregon, that's on the coast sort of place for settling, right? So it's kind of like the Oregon Trail. It's a separate trail that goes south.
Same time frame as Oregon Trail? Okay.
1840s
Okay,
is what
okay.
we're talking.
So I do know this. I have heard of this.
Okay.
Yes.
So when you're leaving, there was a little spot in Missouri where people would get their stuff, in provisions and whatnot, and they leave. And you want to leave there mid to late April. is the time frame, because there's enough grass for the animals along the way. And then by the time you get to the mountain passes, it's still early enough that they're not snowed over and you can actually make it through.
Yep.
If you leave it any later than that, you're going to maybe have some problems. So strike number one against the Donner Party, they left May 12th, which is coming up here in our real lifetime.
It's poor planning, quite
1846.
honestly.
You know, somebody's always late. Somebody's always late.
Yeah.
But that was only like 20 days late, so that's not great. So then another problem happened to them.
Okay.
They get to, well, Dolan's place, Wyoming.
Oh.
And when you get there, you can either go west and then kind of south. You go through Idaho, Nevada. You're going around some mountain areas there, and then California, and then you're going back up north, right?
You gotta avoid some mountain ranges, yeah.
Yeah, so you're doing that design.
Yep.
There were tons of books that were sold that would say, here's how to get there. Here's a map. Here's a whatever, right? And this popular one was written by this guy named Lansford Hastings. And he's like, you know what? That way's fine. My way is actually a little better, and it's faster. It's like a shortcut. You guys want to take a shortcut? Here's my book. And they're like, cool, let's do it. It goes through Salt Lake Desert.
Oh, geez.
And then goes through the Wasatch Mountains. Problem is, no one actually ever told them this. Nobody actually ever done it with wagons before. Had just been on a horseback. And these people are bringing everything they own. They had 20 wagons with them. They took the shortcut, and it added an additional 30 days to the trip.
Oh, boy.
So that's they're really behind it now. However, they make it to the Sierra Nevada mountain range, right in that area. They have about 100 miles left to go in November of 1846.
They were that close?
They were close.
Wow.
They busted it. There's 81 people in the journey.
Yeah.
And it started snowing. And it started snowing, and it was snowing and snowing, and they got stuck. So they started building these, like, anything they could build shelter out of. Some wood that they had with them, furniture, whatever. They made some tents. And they're like, we're going to be here for a while. They get snowed in. 40 of the 81 were kids. One of the kids did come out of it and lived to be 95 years old.
Wow.
So she died let's see if I can do the fast math here. 40, the 50s, 1950s.
Wow.
So that's pretty crazy to think about that. So they're stuck in the snow for a month. They're running out of food. They have nothing left to eat. The animals have nothing left to eat. They're like, oh, we're done for.
They eat all the animals?
They start by eating tree bark or branches and bark. They just start eating wood.
Okay.
They're like, that doesn't work for us.
No.
So they start taking some of the roofs down off of their tents because they were made out of animal hide, and they started boiling that, and it made like a paste, and they would eat that.
Ugh.
And they're like, that's still not.
No.
Tommy's hungry. He wants wingies.
Right.
So
I'm
they're
sure
like,
they didn't agree with their stomachs either. Right?
I would think not.
Ugh.
Then they're like, well, that horse over there probably isn't going to make it.
Yep.
Get a big rock. You know, let's do what we got to do here.
Bonk. Yeah.
All the animals, all the pack animals, basically are done for.
Oh, boy.
And then that really wasn't enough either. So
How hungry were they?
Pretty hungry.
God.
I mean,
They were
80
there.
people.
Yeah, well, they were
take-
there for how long though, too?
For a long time.
Oh,
yeah,
geez.
it was a few.
All told, 3 months they were snowed
Yeah.
in this area.
Holy
Yeah.
smokes.
So on December 16th, 15 of the most fit people decide they're going to hike out.
Oh.
We got to find something, or we're all going to die.
Yep.
So they go. They make the snowshoes out of stuff they had. Well, they got lost. They got lost. They got real hungry. They're like, what are we going to do? They talk about, maybe we'll draw some lots, and if you get the short stick, we're going to kill you and we're going to eat you. So we need to eat.
Oh, boy.
And everybody decided, okay, that we'll do that. But luckily, some people just died because it was cold. And they said, well, waste not, want not.
Oh, no.
And they started to chomping. And they ate them up.
Well,
And they got a little pep in their step that helped them a little bit. So they made it another couple of days. There were 2 Native American guides that had joined the party earlier on, in I want to say Idaho maybe or something like that. They kind of joined in. It's like, hey, what are you guys doing? We're not doing anything. Let's just go with you guys.
We'll go with you.
Well, almost like a cartoon, I have a feeling. They started looking around, and those guys looked like big turkeys or hams or something, and those guys felt it.
Yeah.
They're like, let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Because we're Native Americans, and they're not, and I don't like the vibe that's being put out here. The guys keep licking their lips and stuff, So they take off. Screw this.
Yep.
Well, guess what?
That's a smart move.
They tracked them down, and they found them.
Oh, boy.
They killed them,
And
they ate them.
Oh, jeez.
And then magically, they found a ranch. Just a short time later. Oh, hey, we're saved. Hooray.
No. Yeah.
We made it. After we killed some dudes and ate them. They get some help.
Okay.
And they hike back in.
Yeah.
And the rescuers get there, and it snows even more.
Oh, no.
So then they're stuck there an additional 2 to 3 weeks. There's so much snow, they can't get out. They predicted about half the people died, and the other people ate some of the people. So at least 40 people ate people, they figure. There was a guy, and this name sounds familiar, and I don't know if this is on purpose or not, but he's like the hero.
Okay.
He carried out, because he couldn't take horses in or anything, so he went in and found some of the kids that were still alive. There was 9 kids. And he would carry 2 or 3 at a time through the snow, 100 yards, and he would put them down, and he would go back and get the other kids and walk and put them down, and he'd have them all together, and then he would just do that. And he did that for miles and miles and miles and saved 9 kids. His name was John Stark.
Oh.
So that's a Game of Thrones reference if you're not familiar with that. 81 people went. 45 made it. So the rest of them didn't.
Wow.
There were 11 families. There were 15 solo dudes. And out of all that, there was only 2 families that survived that didn't lose anybody.
Oh, wow.
It was the Reed family and the Breen family, which is one of the babies that was 1 year old on the trip that made it to live to 95. But that's the kind of the backstory of if you've ever heard of the Donner Party or whatever. That's kind of what it was. They've made some movies about it.
You kind of wonder, people around that area, do they the cannibalism part's the part that everybody knows them for, right, or whatever. You got to do what you got to do to survive. Is there? There's got to be other stories around that, like the guy that carried the kids out.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Stuff like that. Whoever's ranch they ended up at, I'm sure they've got a story too, or the Native Americans probably have some kind of story to go. Yeah, unfortunately, it always just kind of reverts back to the cannibalism part.
Yeah, people are fascinated by that stuff. And that's really the ultimate what would you do to survive.
God, could you do it? I couldn't.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Depend. If I was in their situation, I don't think I would be thinking the same.
Your brain would be messed up.
You think? Yeah.
I'd be so cold. I'd probably just been dead.
Yeah,
I don't do well.
That's kind of where I'm at. I hate being cold.
Yeah, same. Let's be honest. In anything super survival like that, I usually just count myself out as dead because
me too.
I would not even to be honest, I know how to start a fire, but I don't think I have the strength to, or the what do you call it, stamina or the motivation to just keep there spinning sticks until I get a fire. I think I would just be like, well, this sucks.
Yeah. Damn.
He just goes and curls up and dies.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's about where I'm at. I feel like I'm smart in some ways, but I'm not smart in those ways.
No.
I'm not building some contraption to keep us alive, or I'm not making a stick that I can throw at a mountain lion and kill it,
Right.
Yeah.
That's just how it's going to be.
Yeah, I'd probably be taken by the bugs. I hate bugs.
Me too.
Even in the snow, they'll find you.
Yeah. No,
those California bugs.
Yeah. So if the 3 of us let's say we went on a beer trip, right? And the car broke down.
That's right.
And then we had to go walk the rest of the way to the brewery, but then it started snowing. All right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't make it. I would not. And I couldn't. Here's the thing. If one of you dies first, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. No.
It'd be funny if it was only an hour.
We're half an hour from the
We've only been
brewery.
missing. The lights are just on the other side of the hill.
Well, we're eating Dolan.
Guys are gone for 20 minutes. Dolan's gone.
Dang it.
Yeah, that would happen.
We had to survive. I was hungry for lunch.
God, isn't that
For just lunch.
yeah. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Let's hope it doesn't get to that.
I hope not.
Yeah,
That's why the travelers bring us the beers.
I
That's
feel like
right.
we have enough technology in 2022 that,
Probably.
you know,
I hope.
unless we went really somewhere like really secluded, you know, we're like, hey, let's walk to 50-50 Brewing from Omaha.
Yeah, that would be a bad idea.
Let's just do a straight line.
Well, it's kind of what they did, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
pretty
it's-
much.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah.
That's not too far. We would have to start. We're too late now. I mean, it's mid-May.
Oh, yeah, we might make it next year.
Yeah, we wouldn't get there in time. We definitely make the same mistakes.
Any idea why it's called 50-50?
I could not find anything on that. No, did you find anything on
No,
that?
I don't know. Only thing that came to my mind is a 50-50 raffle in baseball.
I saw lots of 50-50 raffle as I was going, like,
Yeah.
what else could I talk about here? And
Somebody that my friend Daryl knows won the 50-50 raffle in Kansas City one time.
really?
It was a lot of money.
that's a ton of money.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Well, it goes to a good cause. It goes to
Yeah.
charity.
Yep.
So, TripAdvisor on this one.
Okay.
I thought this was fun because there was a really good bad review.
Oh,
A really
your
good
favorite.
bad. I love the bad ones. So 331 reviews total, and this 4 out of 5 on 331 reviews. Number 6 place to eat in all of Truckee, California. So their
Okay.
food looks actually pretty good. Let's see, 875 Rhonda B. Again, like she's California. Looks like
Yeah.
she's from California. I looked at all the rest of her reviews. She hates everything all the time, including this place in Cabo where the bathroom wasn't big enough, I guess, for her. And then something about the closet too. I could not understand.
Oh, boy.
Here's a review. The title of it is capital B, capital A, lowercase d, d, d. Bad. But barrel age, d, d, d. Yeah, bad. One beer was flat. No, there's no punctuation here, by the way. One beer was flat. Ordered nachos because I'm gluten intolerant. Okay, stop. You ordered a beer, and it was flat, but you're gluten intolerant.
Isn't there gluten in beer?
Oh, well, okay, that's what I thought
And
too.
in chips?
I'm gluten intolerant was served natachos with W flour chips, 4 exclamation points.
White flour.
Oh no. Yeah.
Natachos?
Natachos. O's. Yeah.
Okay.
Our waitress walked out her purse after we were served and nobody ever came back. The food was awful. Service was capital awful bad. Awful bad.
So the waitress walked out with her purse.
With her purse, yes, after she was served.
after she was served. She's like, "Here's your food. Bye."
Peace out. My
Okay.
shift is over.
Well,
Yeah.
Look, when you hate everything, nothing is going to
I feel like she's more than
satisfy
just
you.
who orders
whatever
nacho?
intolerant.
Come on.
I know.
Or
right?
beer. Yeah.
And I'm gluten intolerant, but I'll have 2 beers, please.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
What does the gluten intolerant thing have to do with this entire?
Well,
They should have been more compassionate to her needs.
flour chips.
But did
was
she
served
say?
Oh, I have a feeling she said.
Oh yeah, probably.
I
She told
have a feeling.
everybody.
Hi,
in the
I'm
bar.
gluten intolerant. Give me 2 beers and nachos.
Yes, like that. I think.
I'm sure the cooks are like,
That's why that waitress was like,
Okay.
"Peace out. I'm not
Here's
sticking
your
around for this."
fucking nachos. Throws them on the full table.
I think that's going to be my new goal: is to find the
think
really
so.
bad reviews on.
You can really go down a rabbit hole.
Oh,
It's kind of like
geez.
local news comments, you know,
Yeah.
like on Facebook. But if you're doing them on these negative, that could be fun.
Local news comments on Facebook are solid gold.
Yeah. The
Solid
only thing
gold.
better is the neighborhood app next door.
Oh,
Yeah.
next
Oh,
door.
yes.
Holy smokes.
Those
you
are great.
see those people all the time. How are you?
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So great.
Untapped, 1,200 check-ins. Where do you think we land on Tahoe Pilz, a classic Pilsner?
Well, one silver, you say.
1 silver,
I'm going to say 3.82.
I'm going 378.
3.60. Yeah.
Seems a little flat.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Uh-huh.
Here's the thing. If I could get a 6-pack of this, I would drink it all and be super happy.
Yeah, it was good.
I really enjoyed it a lot.
It did have some nice hoppiness to it, I thought.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Hoppiness, but no bitterness.
Yeah, it just tasted like hops, which was nice.
Yeah.
Yum.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are past the point of stout season, but we've got one last stout that was chilling in the fridge in the back next week. We'll enjoy that stout, and then we're going to dive face first into summer beers
Oh, okay.
after that.
Ooh.
Like a belly flop in a pool.
Just like it.
Okay.
Until then, we're not going anywhere for a while.
Let's have another beer.
Hopefully it's not flat.
Thank you for listening to A Beer with Atlas. Special thanks to our brand team for producing the show. Each episode of A Beer with Atlas is powered by Atlas MedStaff, an industry leader in travel healthcare staffing.